Okay, welcome back to that one random podcast shorts. Okay, we're gonna do a quick reaction video to this video that I found on, I think it was on TikTok, yeah? So we're gonna, to give it a bit of context, they say, you know, the pyramids were built by slaves and
the chisel and a
hammer and these big, massive boulder freaking bricks, you know, that they pushed on wooden logs and moved it across them and used ropes or whatever it is to lift them up and put them in place, and pulleys was the way the pyramids were made, right?
Within 100 years as well, yeah.
Yeah, right. So, and this is back then, without any power tools or any technology, anything like that, yeah, or advanced technology.
Supposedly, this is the official timeline history, because obviously in mainstream, the progress of human evolution is linear. You know, we got computers now, but before we had steam power, and before that, we went back to going all the way back to cavemen banging chisels and rocks, and so mainstream will say that human progression is linear. So by that logic, the pyramids from 6,000 years ago could not have had any advanced technology, and therefore...
Well, we're going to play you this video, right, which is quite funny, yeah? And then we're going to give our thoughts on it, yeah? Mm-hmm. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's
so it's like, just like you got 3 forklift trucks there that can't even lift that slab of concrete, if I'm guessing it is, yeah, right there. Yeah, they're telling you, if you look at the picture below, that's how they build the pyramids.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm at a point in life now where I'm programming from all of that mainstream nonsense. So to me, that is obviously, that bottom picture to me is just straight up bullshit. And I see that as straight up bullshit. And the middle video is kind of reinforcing that, you know, it's bullshit.
But they say even now that they couldn't recreate the pyramids.
They couldn't, yeah. I think when you look at it from
with all our technology and all our advancement that we've made in technology and power tools and etc., we can't make the pyramids now.
No, it would cost too much money. And even from a construction point of view, it would be one of the hardest engineering feats of all time, which is just put in context to how ridiculous the pyramids actually are. I've never been to Egypt yet, so I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but I've looked into it a lot, and I think the more you look into it, the more questions you get than answers. But I mean, when they go talking about chisels and hammers and stuff, the reason why they can say that is because they found chisels and hammers in the area.
Yeah.
But if you look at any construction building...
But was there more they found? And they're not telling us?
As in...
Maybe there was advanced...
Nah, I think... Well, you look at any construction place, for example, when it's finished building, even let's say this building that we're in right now, it's finished building.
Yeah.
Do you see any diggers still left around? Do you see any drills?
True.
So when you're finished...
But then you don't see chisels around either.
But that's what...
Or hammers.
But it's what well, you might find a hammer.
Or did they say they said they found chisels, but they didn't find chisels?
Possibly. There's a lot of lies. But I think they probably did find chisels.
Because like you build a house, the builders don't leave a hammer and a chisel.
That's what I'm trying to say, that you don't leave the tools you
take them with you.
You take them with you. So to then find some tools and then automatically say, oh, this must be how it was built, I think is silly. But I think there was definitely something more advanced. I think you look at these blocks, to move it alone is one thing, but to get them cut so precise is another thing.
The other question you got to ask, so we'll go deep into that at some other point, is did humans actually build it?
Oh, mate, yeah, this is a conversation that has so many, will need a longer form.
We did episode 1, and episode 1 got banned by YouTube for our reaction to Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson talking about UPAs, or UAPs, what was known as UFOs.
Yeah. I mean, are we talking about an ancient alien technology here? Are we talking something maybe from an outer circle planetary being? Are we talking ancient technology? Are we talking magic? Are we talking giants? Are we talking levitation, anti-gravity technology? There's a lot to go into.
We'll table that for later, but it's just food for thought, I suppose, because we will end up doing a full-length podcast on this sort of stuff.
You know what? I have the thing with the pyramids that always kind of strikes me. Okay, it's one thing to precisely cut megaton blocks and stack them by the thousands. But what concerns me with the pyramids, or what raises my questions even more though, is the alignments. The alignments to be needed to be, a 60th of a degree to true north, to have it aligned with Orion's belt, to have, the Sphinx located near, again, facing certain astrological systems, and, all these planetary alignments with the stars. And what was their obsession with the greater cosmos almost? It's one thing to decide, okay, I want to put a building. I want to plop a building right here. That's fine, and you can do all that engineering. But to get the precise alignments to the stars, to line it with the sunrise and the moons and all of this almost, cosmic kind of level stuff, that's where it's like, hold on, what do they actually know? What was the deeper meaning behind that?
What people need to ask the question as well, you've got pyramids in Egypt. That's not the only place you've got pyramids.
No, you've got pyramids all over the place.
You've got pyramids all over the place.
And so are we looking at a one world, a civilization that crossed the whole world, and, they were actually running the whole world, and these pyramids are all linked, and then maybe there was a cataclysmic event that kind of, got rid of all of them, and we're just seeing the remains of it. I mean, someone told me, or one analogy that I came across was like, if humans were to be wiped out, and then let's say the next form of species, monkeys, not that I believe in evolution, but let's say hypothetically, monkeys now became intelligent. And they found...
Funny you should say that.
Go on.
We might need to do a short on this, but there's a lot of talk about chimpanzees, how they're evolving.
Yeah, I'm not against evolution in the classical sense of things evolving. Everything evolves, but I'm talking like Darwinian evolution. I don't believe in, I think there's a misstep in the history.
What we got taught was that we were apes and we came from apes or whatever.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I don't believe that nonsense.
But obviously I do believe things change. By the definition of evolution in terms of things evolving from state A to state B, just like how water turning from liquid into ice, that's still a form of evolution. But in terms of, let's just say hypothetically, monkeys were to become evolved and they started to become more civilized as a society, and they found nuclear power plants. Let's say humans have been wiped out and they found these nuclear power plants, and they started to reside there, they started to live there, they started to maybe worship there, maybe they started to put paintings and drawings on the nuclear power plant. Can you say that the monkeys now living there, or now drawing on it, or now, doing their rituals there, did they build the nuclear power station?
No, you couldn't, could you?
You couldn't, but that's what we're doing today. We're saying just because there is a civilization that lives or has drawings of the pyramids, we now automatically say, yes, so therefore these people must have built the pyramids, when it's never that clear cut. We're looking at maybe a lost civilization.
So what you're saying is that potentially the pyramids were there before we got here.
Yeah.
And then we saw them and we were like, oh my God, we started worshipping them like,
what is
like
this
a god
thing?
or
the whole notion that the pyramids is a tomb.
Yeah.
That's proven to be not true. Obviously, it's still something that a lot of people believe because, history books within the schools haven't really changed, right? From 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But the new mainstream studies are saying that it's not a tomb. And we're looking at something completely, because there was never any bodies found there. There was never any, it doesn't have the same design as a lot of the other tombs. So this is definitely proven now that the pyramids are not a tomb. So what are they then? Is it a power station? Are we looking at something like a nuclear power plant? Are we looking at something like a different kind of energy reactor?
Funny you should say
Are we looking at a...
So you know what movie I watched a couple of weeks ago that I haven't watched in a while was X-Men Apocalypse.
Okay.
And in there, obviously Apocalypse is like basically from ancient Egyptian myth or whatever, yeah? And it shows at the beginning how he becomes more and more powerful by finding other mutants and then absorbing their power or jumping into their body and taking their power in that way, right? And then when they're showing the pyramids like, there's all this power and lights going off, and because he's about to do the ritual, the transfer or whatever it is. And it was just interesting looking at it. I thought, what are those pyramids actually about? Was it, like you just touched on, was it a power station? Was it a source of power for a civilization? Because one thing I can't buy into anymore is what I was taught as a kid, which was, oh, it was the pharaohs and they built it.
It was a tomb
Because as you get older, and when I was a little kid, yeah, you believed it, right?
Yeah,
Well,
makes
the
sense,
teacher's
yeah.
telling me, and someone's researched it, and so I've got to believe it. But as you get older, hold on, you see something like this, like we've just shown, and you're like, that doesn't quite make sense anymore.
Yeah.
It's a deep one.
Well, it's a deep one. Well, we'll have to come back onto that. I might have to suggest another video to look into after this. But yeah, don't believe everything you see, guys. Question everything.
Question your education.
Yeah, really, really deeper. Who wrote the stuff that they told you and why? I'd recommend, if you are interested in the topic, look into Graham Hancock. He was one of the pioneers of the neo-archaeological kind of stuff, and he was one of the few people that started to challenge the mainstream. Look into Graham Hancock, Robert Schoch. They've got good stuff with Joe Rogan as well. Was it Alex Carlson? Can't remember the name, but do check out some good stuff, man. There's a lot out there.
Anyway, as always, leave a comment. We would love to hear what you think on the topic.
Yep.
Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, we out.
Peace.